In 2014, the 29th state.
Telangana, that was a big
And
one.
the complex separation from Andhra Pradesh.
And then that whole shared capital situation with Hyderabad.
A real logistical puzzle? Talk about a challenge.
It's clear that forming a new state, it's not a decision taken lightly.
No kidding. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. History, culture, administrative feasibility, politics.
It's like a giant equation with all these different variables.
And it's not just about forming new states, it's also about recognizing those evolving identities.
Like renaming states.
Exactly. Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Odisha, all these names, they reflect something deeper.
A shift in how people see themselves.
That pride, that sense of belonging.
It's fascinating how the map itself is almost like a living document.
Constantly being updated to match the reality on the ground.
Reflection of the times.
And speaking of changing times, we can't ignore one of the most recent and significant developments, the reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir in 2019.
Yeah, Jammu and Kashmir, that's a whole other story.
Definitely a complex one, lots of layers to unpack there.
We could probably do a whole deep dive just on that.
Easily. But
Yeah.
for now, let's zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture.
Okay, so we've seen how India's internal map has, well, basically been reshaped over and over again.
Constantly evolved.
What does all this change tell us about India as a nation?
You know, it's remarkable how India manages to balance this incredible diversity with a strong sense of unity.
It's almost like a paradox.
Right. On one hand, you have this tapestry of languages, cultures, different ways of life.
And on the other hand, there's this unwavering commitment to being one nation.
It's like a delicate dance, finding that harmony between honoring regional identities and preserving that national unity.
It's not easy, that's for sure.
Definitely not. And that's why Article 3, the one that gives Parliament the power to redraw those boundaries.
The magic eraser and marker.
It's such a vital tool. It allows for the creation of states that truly represent the needs and identities of the people, potentially reducing those internal tensions and conflicts.
So it's a way of managing diversity within a unified framework.
Exactly. A key concept for our UPSC aspirants to remember. The Constitution itself provides that mechanism.
But wouldn't all this change lead to instability? I mean, constantly redrawing boundaries. It just seems like it would create chaos.
It's a valid concern, and to be honest, it's something India has grappled with throughout its history.
Trying to find that balance.
But here's the thing. These changes, they don't just happen overnight. It's not some impulsive decision.
It's a process, right?
Exactly. It's a long process. Years of debate, deliberation, public discourse.
So it's a response to genuine needs, not just some political maneuvering.
You got it. And the process itself is rooted in those democratic principles.
So it's evolution, not revolution.
I like that. And for our UPSC folks out there, here's a key takeaway. Understanding the historical context, the constitutional provisions, the socio-political dynamics, that's crucial.
It's the key to understanding how India works.
Absolutely. It's not just about memorizing dates and names.
It's about connecting those dots, seeing the bigger picture.
Precisely. And now, here's a question for everyone to ponder. What kind of challenges and opportunities do you think lie ahead for India in managing its diverse states and union territories?
That's a great question. I mean, we've seen how language, culture, administrative efficiency, those have been driving forces in the past.
What about the future?
What new factors might emerge? Economic disparities between regions, maybe? The rise of new political ideologies? Even environmental concerns could play a role?
Excellent points. Environmental concerns, that's a new one.
Right. Could we see demands for new administrative units focused on sustainability?
Who knows? The possibilities are endless. That's what makes studying India's political evolution so fascinating.
It's a dynamic process, always adapting.
A never-ending story.
So we've journeyed from the integration of princely states all the way to the formation of Telangana.
Quite a journey.
And we've seen how the Constitution provides that framework for change while ensuring the unity of the nation.
Like a set of guidelines, but flexible enough to adapt.
Exactly. But most importantly, I think we've seen how all of this reflects the aspirations of the Indian people.
Their desire for representation, recognition, a voice in this vibrant democracy.
It's a reminder that India's story is still being written.
And understanding the past is crucial to shaping the future.
Couldn't agree more. So to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to dive deeper into the stories that resonated with you. Explore those debates, the challenges, the triumphs that have shaped India's map. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.